In this video, you will hear from Dr. Joseph Volpicelli, leading naltrexone expert researcher and physician. The next question I have for you is regarding whether or not someone should take naltrexone if they're drinking non-alcoholic beer or kombucha that may have some alcohol in it. So do they have to take naltrexone if they're on the Sinclair method before consuming these types of beverages?
Yeah, so people often ask, are they still sober if they have non-alcoholic beer? Does that count as a drink day or not? So it's important to keep in mind that to get an effect from alcohol, you need like 2, 3 drinks, standard drinks, to get the high, to get the enjoyment from it. And if you buy a near beer, you buy a non-alcoholic beverage, it still has a little bit of alcohol, but it's like equivalent of 0.1%. Uh, a standard beer is 5%. So it would take, what, 50 near beers to get up to one beer. So it's really unlikely you could drink enough of those near beers to begin to get any effect at all. So theoretically, it would be like if you were drinking soda. So do you need to take naltrexone before drinking soda? No. Now, having said that, there are some people who, when they have the taste of alcohol, even they don't get the pharmacologic effect, but they get the taste of alcohol, it can stimulate craving for alcohol. And if that's the case, some people might be at risk of putting down their non-alcoholic beer and going to the refrigerator and getting a regular beer. They're at the Super Bowl party, if you will, and they brought their non-alcoholic beverages, but they see other people drinking, they get the taste of the alcohol, and that might stimulate craving for having the real thing. In that case, probably taking an naltrexone before that will help reduce that craving and make it easier for you to stick with your non-alcoholic beverages. The case for kombucha is very similar, that if you buy kombucha that's commercially available, it's not going to have more than 0.1% alcohol in it. So you have the same problems. You'd have to have, 40 or 50 of those to get any good pharmacologic effect. But there's one caveat I want to say, that some people who make their own kombucha, you can get up to 3% if it's home brewed. So that you have to be careful with. So if it's someone who made their own, you want to find out what's the percent of alcohol in that beverage. And of course, if it's 3%, you can get all the effects as if you're having sort of a weak beer.
Okay. That's really helpful to understand. And just, I'm one person, but I will say I regularly have non-alcoholic beers, and I've been doing that for over 5 years since I quit drinking alcohol, and I never take naltrexone before. For me personally, one non-alcoholic beer is enough. I never want another one. I
Yeah.
never want a regular beer. And I even make desserts like tiramisu, and I'll
Yeah.
pour a Kahlua in there, but because it's such a small amount in this big cake, it's not an issue for me. So
Yes.
my personal experience kind of confirms what you're saying with the pharmacology of it. So thank you for explaining that.
And I have to say that in general, social supports are really critically important for people in their recovery. I mean, that's one of the things that I think AA gets right. That when people have peer support, or a coach or someone can help hold them accountable, but give them support when they begin to lose hope, that's very important, critically important in terms of people getting better from this disorder. And so I recommend, from the beginning, we recommended that if people go on naltrexone using the Sinclair method, or daily naltrexone, or if they get a monthly injection of extended release naltrexone, that in addition to using the medicine faithfully, it's also important to have psychosocial support to help you get through the process.